Right guys, an extremely short one here, and it's not about a CNN pundit knocking out a quick one on Zoom either, but in my opinion this video had to be made. Some of the longer term subscribers might remember I started this channel to call out the media's lies, and in particular the BBC. Well, it seems I need to go back to that here because the BBC's 6 PM news yesterday was talking about Boris Johnson forcing tier 3 restrictions on Manchester. The problem is it cut out a bit of what was said live on the BBC earlier in relation to the government's plans to isolate individual local councils and force them into accepting tier 3. So essentially, lockdown by stealth is in full swing. The BBC itself seems to be running interference for the government to stop the majority of its viewers finding out about that little detail. The BBC host literally talks over the video playing in the background despite her saying this is when we got more information on the plan, so should be letting the public hear it really. Personally, I think everyone should put a complaint in to the BBC for covering it up, but that's just me. I put mine in last night. But here, watch the BBC News at 6 segment and in the actual information they try to cover up and let me know what you think.
Greater Manchester's leaders have been demanding more money to help workers whose income will fall because of closures. They were given until midday to accept a final offer from the government, but there was no agreement, and ministers in London said they'd impose tougher restrictions. And here is the Mayor, Andy Burnham, finding out from a colleague important details about the new measures.
1 minute past midnight on Friday.
He says the plans will increase poverty and hardship.
At no point today were we offered enough to protect the poorest people in our communities through the punishing reality of the winter to come. Friday. 1 minute past midnight on Friday. This is what's been said to MPs. It's going to be £20 million only, and they are going to try and pick off individual councils.
So you can tell something is off the moment she starts talking over him. That is a real red flag to me and should be to anyone else. It then cuts away to just her talking with a different background, so hiding the truth from the viewers as I said. Luckily though, I recorded both clips so you got to see them back to back. It is a disgrace and the BBC should be held to account for it. As for the government, it seems when bribing local councils does not work, forcing them to do it is much easier and cheaper. But much like their strategy with the people of the UK, it is the same with the councils. They are using the age-old method of divide and conquer against us. You have the people who want to wear masks and think we should be locked down obviously being played against the people who don't. And now we apparently have Boris Johnson planning to do the same with local councils. Maybe so they don't end up with a situation where a group of councils band together and stop it from happening, forcing them to put it upon the area, which obviously makes them look bad. But realistically, that's not the point of this video. While it is a shit thing, my point was calling out the BBC for lying for the government and covering it up. So like I said, if you think it's wrong, drop a complaint into the BBC and make them correct it, hopefully on the 6 o'clock news.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.